Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Talkin Wrasslin podcast with your host, the macho-loving, cornet-carny, little munchkin Denny Vale. And the Jacksonville wrestling fan, whose favorite wrestlers, of course, are forever and always will be the Young Bucks. Lyssie Vale. Together, these two give a retrospective of the week in the professional wrestling world throughout all promotions across the world. So let's jump into this week's episode. Oh my God!
Hello, Talkin Wrasslin.
You said hello and ghosted like a little jump.
Hello, Talkin Wrasslin here. This is Dylan, and that's Lyssie.
Hello.
And we're gonna talk wrestling and stuff and everything. We got news and stuff. We got the debut Raw on Netflix. We got Rock wasting everybody's time on NXT. We got some things about Dynamite, Wrestler of the Week, and we're going to talk about AEW fans losing faith. But at first, Lyssie, break the news to everyone, because how was your week?
Oh, well, it was fine. Nothing really overly interesting happened. I went to go get my tattoo worked on. I have a tattoo on my arm. It's a Naruto tattoo. Not of Naruto, it's of Sasuke. It's almost done. We just have to add, like, the whites and everything in. Maybe a tiny little bit of touch-up on some of the color. All that fun stuff. But actually, the coolest thing happened. Because, no, granted, this happens very frequently when you go to get a tattoo. I don't think I've ever heard of a story where this doesn't happen when you go get a tattoo. So some of you might be like, okay, I understand what you're talking about. But I went in for my tattoo appointment, and, I was getting my tattoo done. And then I left with a cat, who I'm pretty sure is breaking stuff outside in the living room. Because I'm hearing some stuff happening out there.
Should I go check?
You should go check on her. While Dylan's going to check, I guess I'll give this rundown of the story. So I get tattooed at the tattoo shop I used to work at. And I'm talking to my friend, tattoo artist Mark. Shout out to Mark. I think we were talking about cats, I'm pretty sure, like, as this had, like... Aww. Is she meowing? Is she crying?
Say hi to everyone.
Say hello. Meow. Say hi. Now she doesn't want to talk. Now we put a microphone in front of her. She doesn't want to talk. Hi.
She was trying to get into a box.
Hi, baby.
You gonna sit here? You can be our guest.
Oh, well, that was ghost chirping. I don't know what she's trying to do. But
how about you lay down?
Anyway, so I think we were talking about cats and how I think we were starting to talk conversation about like how I think Dee Dee has OCD. Don't sniff the phone. She's gonna stop our recording. And as we were, my old boss came in and was talking about how I was like, oh yeah, I think Dee Dee has ADHD, and he's like, oh, do you want a cat, like a kitten? And I'm like, huh? And he's like, you want a kitten? I'm like, well, is it orange? And he's like, no. I might be able to hear her purring. She's on me right now. And I was like, is it a boy? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, you're making this very difficult for me to say yes to this. I was like, what? And he's like, okay, so basically my boss and his girlfriend live in a bad area, not so great area, in like not where we live, but where we kind of used to live. There's like a bad area that they live in. Anyway, and my old boss, can you get your cat to stop scratching at the Dee-Dee?
The cats are taking over this podcast.
They are. But I think she's gonna jump at him.
Get him. Attack him.
Don't attack him. Play with him.
No, he deserves it sometimes.
No, he doesn't.
Sometimes.
Anyway, they live in this really bad area.
She's going to chase them.
And they have security cameras all around the house. And I'm assuming they saw on the security cameras that there were these kids, like elementary school kids, outside, and they had this kitten, and they were like throwing it around in the bush and like swinging her around and basically just torturing her and abusing her. And they saw this on the security cameras, so my boss and his girlfriend run out, scare off the kids. His girlfriend grabs or my old boss, I should say, but his girlfriend grabs the cat. She's in the bush, so she grabs her out of the bush and runs into the house and everything, and like takes her into the house. Gave her a flea bath, dewormer, all of that fun stuff. But they could not keep her because they already had a lot of cats, and animals and whatnot. So they were like, we cannot have another cat in this house, but like, we don't know what to do. And they're probably more so going to end up having to take her to a shelter if they couldn't find a home for her. And they were trying to find a home for this cat, or kitten, I should say, before my old boss's girlfriend's son came over, because he's pretty young, and you know how that would have went, of like young kid seeing a new cat and would be like, oh my god, a new animal, and then you would have like been stuck with it, and then trying to end up finding a new home for that cat, or end up taking it to a shelter, and then dealing with the kid being upset because he misses the kid. It's a whole thing. They just kind of wanted to avoid that situation from happening. So like, if we don't find a home for it by Saturday, and mind you, I'm getting this tattoo done Thursday, and we don't find a home for it by Saturday, we're just gonna have to take her to a shelter. And I'm like, okay, well, give me that kitten then. So I'll put a picture up of her here, to show you what she looks like. Her name is Lita. Dylan decided on the name. Initially we were gonna go with Sheena from the Ramon song, because Dee Dee's named after Dee Dee Ramone. So she was Sheena for like maybe a minute. And then after we kind of saw her personality of her like running around, she has a, not like a bad attitude, but she's got an attitude. Like, she's walking around this house like she's queen. She owns this place. She's like, this is my house now. She's scaring all the boys off, you know what I mean? Like, Dee Dee and Goze saw her and they were like, oh my god, no. And like ran, and she's holding her ground and whatnot. They're all good now. Like Ghost is definitely a lot more warmed up to her and Dee Dee are getting there. They're more warmed up now, but she was very much like protecting herself and whatnot. She's between 3 and 5 months old, and I'm gonna lean a little bit closer to 3 months old because she is a teeny tiny little thing. She is like, she could be 5 months old and just very small. But she is really small, so I'm gonna lean a little bit closer.
The way
to
she's
3 months.
acting is definitely like 3 months old, I think, too.
Yeah,
because like there's some things where you're like, oh, you are an idiot. You don't know.
Yeah,
you don't know what this is.
And it's not that she's hurt, because she's not hurt. Like, luckily she's healthy and she's fine. Oh well, that's Dee Dee. But you can tell, like, sometimes, like, it literally happened just today. She was walking to go look outside of our patio, and as she's just walking normally, she just, like, misstepped her paws and just kind of fell, and then, like, got up and kept walking. So, like, she's still, like, you know, getting used to living, which is crazy. But, yeah, the biggest, I'd say, issue, which it's not even really an issue. We've had her for, what's today, Monday that we're recording this? We got her on Thursday. So we've only had her for like 4 days, and we've already gotten it all sorted out. But our biggest hurdle with her was the litter box. She had a couple accidents. Luckily we have like hardwood floors and everything. The first time was in the bathtub, which was honestly a dream of an accident, because I'm like, oh my god, thank god I could just turn the shower on, get some soap, clean this up, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then the second time was in the bathroom underneath the sink, but like our sink is weird. It has like a little cubby area that's like big enough that like I could sit underneath it. You know what I mean? Like, I could crawl and sit underneath there. So you can get under there very easily. She went under there. She had an accident, easy to clean up and whatnot. And then she had an accident in the kitchen. Again, all on tile, hardwood floor, whatever. It was actually all tile. It wasn't even the hardwood. It was the tile. Very easy to clean up and whatnot. And, you know, we did what you're supposed to do. And, like, once they do that, put them in the litter box so they, like, get an idea. But we think that what happened was, because we have the other cats, their scent was still in there. So we got a brand new litter box, brand new litter and everything. And then immediately put her in there once we set it up. I, like, the litter boxes are in a separate room. So I closed the door so it was just me and her. put her in the litter box, showed her she can dig in it and whatnot. And then I think it was like 5 minutes later, she's in there, she's digging around, she's playing with it, and then she just used it and she has been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
So like it was like easy peasy lemon squeezy to get that sorted. And she's been good. I mean, she's a kitten, so she's definitely getting into some stuff she shouldn't be. We still have some boxes that we haven't unpacked yet, like just figures and stuff that we need to figure out where we're hanging up. And some of the boxes are open because we had to like look through them to kind of get an idea of what all was in there. And she's learning to get in the boxes of stuff. She's she's definitely a kitten. She's doing kitten stuff, but it was very unexpected. A very unexpected situation. Do you want to talk about Lita a little bit? Because I've just been rambling off about her.
She's crazy. She's nuts. I don't know what more to say.
Oh, she jumped into a wall yesterday.
Yeah.
I was playing with one of those little strings. And she's a kitten. She can jump. She can get air. And I'm like running the thing along the floor and then like lifting it up so she can jump. I kid you not. This cat, I didn't think she was going to jump this far. So this is on me as well. I didn't think she was going to jump this far, but I was running it along the floor and I lifted it up about halfway of the living room, like middle of the living room. And she jumped and leaped halfway across the living room into the wall.
She went crazy.
And I'm like, oh my God. And like, our living room's not huge, but it's also not like small either. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember the dimensions of it exactly, but like it's a decent size. Like she probably jumped, because I did measure for a carpet. I want to say she probably jumped across like 10 feet.
That's crazy.
It was fucking insane. Like I did not think she was going to jump that high or that far and hit the wall, but she's fine. She's okay.
She's
okay. I mean, Dylan's very like, oh, be careful with her. She's a baby. And I'm like, yeah, I know she is a baby, but also she's a fucking cat. And she's a cat that's been defending herself outside for at least 3 months. Like, she's okay. Trust me, she's fine. Kittens do a lot worse to themselves than that. So she's all right. But yeah, so I don't know. However long this episode ends up going on, you've already been hearing Dee Dee cry. Not really cry, just meow. But you end up hearing little teeny tiny squeaks at the microphone at some point. That might be her.
Yeah.
So anyway, aside from that, my week's been fine. Been working. I again got my tattoo worked on. It hurts. Dylan, how was your week?
Oh my God. It was boring. Really nothing exciting. We got a kitty. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's all you gotta say?
I took a vacation from work. That's about it.
And don't keep saying he's going to take the cat to work with him.
I am. Anyway, let's talk about some wrestling. I want to talk wrestling and stuff. And let's start with this. This gained a lot of attention during the week. And, people on Twitter are idiots and will say things. But Jeff Hardy says if he lived his life differently in his 20s and 30s, he would be just as big as John Cena. Like, as over and stuff. And people on Twitter being like, Jeff Hardy's crazy. But no. It's not. It's not crazy.
Jeff Hardy is already over enough with the demons he has and he has fought. And people still love Jeff.
Go watch WWE in 2008, 2009. Jeff Hardy, extremely over. Selling merch. Every kid fucking wanted the armbands. Mm-hmm. I had the armbands. What happened with Jeff was his demons. And Jeff would have been just as over as John Cena. He would have won the world title a lot sooner than he did. He would have had Mania moments more if he didn't do what he did. And that's Jeff's fault. Mm-hmm. I love Jeff. I'm glad he's doing better now. And that's all that really matters. And I'm glad he realizes that, though.
Yeah.
Of, like, he did fuck up. And, like, now
he's aware.
Yeah. Like, it makes me happy. People on Twitter are just dumb as shit.
No, but, like, here's the thing, right? Like, I would argue the point that, like, Jeff Hardy, you can tie the Hardys in, like, total, but I would say Jeff on his own was at one point at the height of his career as over as John Cena. Because I think, and this might sound crazy, I think when I was growing up, I knew of more kids that liked Jeff Hardy than those that, like, okay, when I say liked, were, like, really about Jeff Hardy than they were of really about John Cena. Like, every kid, except for me, every kid loved John Cena. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Every kid liked John Cena. He's our childhood, yada, yada, yada. But I think I knew more kids that had a obsession and infatuation with the Hardys or just Jeff Hardy than I did with people that were that crazy over Cena.
I have a Hardy Boys tattoo. Mm-hmm. My finish for the longest time was the Swanton Bomb.
My brother had a cardboard cutout of Jeff Hardy in his room. I think it's still at my dad's house. I think it's still there in my dad's house. I wonder if my brother wants that. I'll take it.
I got my lip pierced in the center. Like when I had a lip piercing in the center of my lip because of Jeff Hardy.
Did Jeff Hardy have a center lip piercing? Mm-hmm. Really? Mm-hmm. I never realized that. Yep. But like, these stupid cats, man. These cats are doing something out there. Dylan is on baby duty right now. But no, I think Jeff saying he could have been as over, if not more over, than John Cena is almost kind of discrediting himself with how much of an impact he has had. What are you doing? Is it Dee Dee?
Yeah.
Oh. I think saying that I think Jeff Hardy saying that he could have been as over, if not more over than John Cena is discrediting the impact that he has had. I think he's discrediting himself a lot in that because I genuinely believe he was. And I mean, if he didn't have his demons, I think he 110% would have surpassed Cena. 110%, no doubt, because I think he was already on par with Cena with his addiction.
I don't think he was going to surpass. Cena would have been still the face of WWE.
I don't know.
No, John Cena, it's easier to brand a guy to the mainstream audience. It is easy. You got to think of this. John Cena, every average Joe. Mm-hmm. Jeff Hardy, alternative.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right?
I think easier to brand John Cena.
I'm saying this.
Than Jeff Hardy.
I'm saying this out of like not WWE branding somebody. You know what I mean? Because Cena was gonna be Vince's guy, right? But like, we could take it into account of even like wrestlers. Okay, like Roman, right? Like WWE, when Roman left the Shield, wanted Roman to be the next big thing, and the fans were not behind him. But irregardless of the fans not being behind him, WWE still tried to push it. I'm not saying they wouldn't have been behind John Cena. I think the fans were going to be behind John Cena no matter what. But I think Jeff would have surpassed in fan popularity without his demons, without WWE needing to push him as the face of the company. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, are you picking up what I'm putting down on like what I'm trying to get at here?
Yes.
Like, I think fans would have, not that they didn't, obviously, but I think fans would have really latched on to Jeff Hardy a lot more if he was healthy.
Yeah. Man.
And anyone who's saying that that's not true, you have to be either a new wrestling fan and just be aware of the Hardys from, like, their time in AEW now over to TNA.
Or you're just fucking stupid.
Or you're just fucking stupid and you actually didn't pay attention to anything going on in wrestling in your entire life.
Yeah.
Because you can't sit here and say there's no way, and be a longtime fan of wrestling when you know the impact that the Hardys have had. Almost every single upcoming tag team will, if you ask them who were your inspirations growing up, I guarantee you 99.9% of them are going to say the Hardys somewhere in there.
It's the Hardys or now the Motor City Machine Guns. Get a lot of it too.
Someone might even say Generation Me.
Oh God. Oh God.
That's gonna be the next wave.
Oh,
the Young Bucks will be the next wave. of wrestlers coming in.
That's an unfortunate.
No, it's not, because the Young Bucks did a lot of really good things in wrestling, much like the Hardys. The Young Bucks right now are this age's Hardys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and no disrespect to the Hardys at all, of course. The Young Bucks, not only were they one of the best tag teams of our current generation, but they went out and built a whole damn company and changed the landscape of wrestling. That's going to inspire a lot of kids. You know what I mean? That's going to, like, really show kids that you can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it. Same thing with the Hardys. There's some, back in our day, there's some alternative looking fucks, and they went out to become wrestlers and do crazy stuff, and a lot of kids ended up looking up to them and being like, yeah, I want, like, these guys look pretty fucking cool, and they were able to do their dreams, so I'm gonna do whatever I fucking want. And then they become pro skaters, and then they end up as Darby Allin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
moving on. I didn't even bring this up to you at all during the week, because I didn't even, like, read into this as much because there was a lot going on, so I had to, like, send it to myself. But 0-1, it's a wrestling promotion, they're bringing back Hayabusa.
huh?
With a new wrestler.
Huh?
Yeah, so let me read this. 0-1 is reviving the Hayabusa character with a new wrestler under the mask. The Japanese wrestling promotion announced on Tuesday, Pure Fightful, unfortunately, that the character played by the late, I'm not going to butcher his name, Hayabusa. It's hard to pronounce.
Eiji Izaki?
Yeah, I don't want to mispronounce or anything. Is set to return with a new talent portraying the role. The new Hayabusa will debut on April 27th in a match against Masato Tanaka at Lucha Fest Special. Izaki originated the Hayabusa gimmick in Mexico after being sent there by FMW founder Onita. Izaki rose to fame for his in-ring talent as Hayabusa in FMW and briefly retired the character in '99, taking on a new role as Simply H before returning the Hayabusa a year later. His career was cut short by an in-ring injury that left him paralyzed in 2001. He remained active behind the scenes in wrestling until his passing in 2016. 0-1 founder Megumi Judo, probably butchered it.
No, I think you're right.
All right. Said during the press conference announcing the news, we received an offer from Hayabusa because he has connection to both countries at the 1994 Super J Cup. I also felt a strong desire to see Hayabusa's magnificent performance again. He is one-of-a-kind wrestler and truly legendary wrestler. He is one-of-a-kind wrestler and truly legendary wrestler. I was a little worried about whether it was okay to simply bring Hayabusa back. If Hayabusa was here and I consulted him, I'm sure he would want to spread the word about Hayabusa to many people rather than just keep it to himself. I don't fucking know. He added, I know that the real identity is not Iziki-san, but if the cool and strong Hayabusa returns to the ring at Ryoku, I think that's how you say it, Ryoku?
Yes.
I want to fight in a match that exceeds expectations. I believe I can make the most of the new Hayabusa and defeat him, so I decided to run for the title. What do you think about this, Lizzie?
So wait, who's the...
It doesn't say.
Is it Osprey?
No.
How do you know? How do you fucking know it's not Osprey?
It's not Osprey. They would fucking say if it was Will Osprey.
Here's the thing, right? This might be a controversial take. Actually, I don't think this is a controversial take. I would want more information about this because I wouldn't see an issue of reviving the character if the family gave the blessing. If they didn't, I have a problem with it.
That was my immediate first thought when I saw this pop up on my Twitter, and I was like, it's literally like, hey, we do a side podcast called Talkin Music. It's like Static X and what they're doing.
Yeah, and if they consulted the family of Hayabusa, and they were like, we give you the blessing because we want his memory to continue to live on.
Yeah.
Then sure. Absolutely. I have absolutely no fucking problem with it.
I'm sure that it did go through the family and stuff.
It is, I don't want to say weird. It is going to be different to see another person playing Hayabusa.
Yeah. Yes.
It's going to feel odd and awkward, and hopefully I'm just hoping that they capture his wrestling style to the degree that it needs to be captured to present as if Hayabusa was still here with us.
But when I say Hayabusa is my favorite wrestler, I'm talking about the original Hayabusa.
Yes. So we'll just have to see what it is. But I do hope that they consulted the family about this instead of just decided to fucking do it. Because I feel like that's incredibly disrespectful.
But, I mean, if they consulted it, got the go-ahead, cool. I mean, I'm not against the spread of the word of Hayabusa. It will make a lot of his stuff easier to find.
This is going on in Japan, right?
Yes, at 01.
At 01. And this is a Japanese promotion.
Yes.
So I would assume
it's a Japanese promotion and they're putting on like some sort of lucha show. That's why they're choosing to bring Hayabusa back, because when Hayabusa became a wrestler, he was obviously learning in like the FMW dojo. Yes. But when you're a Japanese wrestler, you get sent on an excursion to a different promotion. He went to Mexico, learned the lucha style, and when he debuted at the Super J Cup in 1994, he was honoring Mexico and Japan.
So I would assume...
So it makes sense, at least, what they're doing.
I would assume that they would have enough respect to honor the family.
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm saying. If it's a Japanese promotion...
Yeah, there's a lot of respect, especially with wrestling. Like, I feel like that goes into it in Japanese culture.
If it's a Japanese promotion, and also even with a flair of lucha libre, there's a lot of respect to go in both of those.
So I would assume that they got the okay. Yeah. If it comes out that they didn't, I'm going to publicly tear this company apart.
Yeah, I don't really follow 01 as much. I've heard like things. I've seen matches from 01. I've never really heard of anything bad from 01 unless I'm missing fucking something. So if something that we always talk about wrestling fans wise happened at 01, let me know. Scott Steiner almost died. Jesus. Anyway,
my tattoo itches.
Moving on to supposedly Malachi Black's contract in AEW is coming up.
I'm going to say the same thing that I say every single time something is going on with Malachi departing AEW every 6 months that we talk about this.
But now it seems more real.
It might. I'm going to say I'll believe it when I see it. Wherever he shows up next is wherever he shows up next. That is my current opinion on the situation. I do not have any other opinion about it aside from...
What do you think of the House of Black storyline right now?
Well...
Because, I mean...
I do think
going to Dynamite, we can talk more about it later if you want, because I do have Ospreay versus Buddy Matthews, unless you want to talk about that now.
No, well, I'll briefly touch on it, but we'll talk more about it later. Yeah. I do think that what they're doing with the storyline right now with House of Black, I think it's something that could honestly kind of go either way. Because honestly, we've been seeing Malachi on TV, like, having his matches and showing respect, shaking hands, and then walking out, not doing.
But we haven't seen him as of recent.
When we were seeing him on TV, and we're kind of getting the same thing with Brody and Buddy and everything, and there has been, kind of the story going where it's like, you don't need a leader, you can do this on your own.
They did a thing on Collision though. It was House of Black backstage. And they weren't like in the pitch black or anything, right? Like how they
I don't know. I don't know.
But it was just Brody. It was Buddy and it was Julia. And fucking Cope Edge came up to Brody and was like, "You can take the reins now."
Yeah. So It could be. It could be pretty much like, I feel like this could go of Malachi's leaving and this is how they're rewriting it, which is probably what's actually happening. Or it could be something where people are coming up to House of Black and be like, oh, you can take the reign. You don't need a leader. You can do this on your own. You could go for gold on your own, whatever.
And we get Malachi Black versus Brody King.
And then Malachi Black comes back and he's like, you'll leave my friends alone, and then miss everyone. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it really could go either way, because I feel like it's a way where they're building a story one way or the other. Like, they could juke you out with it. Do I think that Malachi overall is leaving? It seems like it, because of the way they're presenting themselves. However, I feel like every single time we've heard this rumor of Malachi leaving or Malachi being unhappy, it's also kind of fallen the same suit of just like, oh, well, yeah, but like pinpoint as to what they're doing and how they're doing it. Like, he's definitely on his way out because they're doing X, Y, and Z. This time I could see the argument more clearly and I could see it happening more clearly. But I feel like we've had the same conversation 10 times over. So whatever happens, happens.
Do you think AEW fumbled Malachi Black?
It's hard to honestly kind of really say for me, because I really like the House of Black. And I think the House of Black had a lot of really good hits and they had a lot of bad misses. But I feel like overall, when the House of Black was on, I was enjoying them. So personally...
Oh, I always enjoyed the House of Black. Whatever they did, but there was misses.
Personally... Do I think that they were fumbled? No, because I don't necessarily think that they were made out to look like fucking idiots or like this, that, and the other thing. I don't think that they were necessarily like put on TV terribly. I mean, they won the fucking trios championships, and you know, their presence was very like, I hate to say like they had a presence because it's really hard to find the proper words for it. But they had a very specific vibe to them that AEW really just kind of showcased well and encapsulated really well. And frankly, if I'm going to be really honest with you, if they did House of Black in WWE, it would have been so much fucking worse. Like, WWE is not really good with the spooky, weird gimmicks like this.
I don't know. They've been doing good with the Wyatt Six.
Wyatt Six is pretty good. So maybe under Triple H now it would be a little bit better.
Oh yeah, Aleister Black in NXT, phenomenal.
But I do think that if House of Black came in to WWE when Malachi showed up in AEW, like if Malachi never showed up in AEW, never got released from NXT, and they just did House of Black in WWE at that time, it would have been fucking terrible.
Brody King is like a Triple H wet dream.
He's never getting him though.
Oh, he's not. He's
never getting him.
No, he's not. He cares about God's hate a lot more. I don't blame him.
But like, I think AEW did a good job with House of Black, in the best way they could. Because also this was like, if I'm not mistaken, this was like AEW's first time ever doing something like this, was with House of Black. They didn't have really any other factions like this, did they?
Dark Order with Brody Lee at one point.
That's true. That is true. So, I mean, all right, we'll say even second time. Like, even second time.
But that's also kind of like a different vibe.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of the same aspect of, like, what they were kind of doing.
But...
They weren't Satanists.
No, but but overall, I mean, Malachi did not have a whole heck of a lot of a singles run, which... Honestly, I know a lot of people bitched about Malachi not having singles matches. I would have liked to see a couple more, yeah. But I do think that the overall presence of House of Black was perfectly fine enough for me because I liked how they did it. Like, I liked what they did with House of Black. I liked how they showcased them. And I didn't really mind the fact that Malachi didn't have a whole heck of a lot of singles matches. And the ones he did have were fucking bangers. Absolute fucking bangers, because he is a fucking phenomenal wrestler. He is an amazing fucking wrestler. But I also don't think that it was a problem to have him not as a singles wrestler all the time. I think
he could have been used more.
he could have, but I think having him as the center point of House of Black and having his guys and girl do his bidding, and then he's like the final boss.
I was gonna say, I think that was the whole point of it, and people just kind of missed the aspect of it. But I understand, because like I like to see Malachi Black wrestle because it's different. Mm-hmm. It's a different style. I don't mind, like I can watch Brody King over and over again.
I can watch Brody King wrestle for 10 hours straight.
Or even Buddy. But at the same, like, man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a wrestler that I can only watch so much of, and then I kind of like, just like, we know. Cena at one point was like that. I mean, he kind of still is, but like, you knew the shtick.
Yeah. But I liked how they had that aspect with it. And you're right. A lot of people did miss that point where they're just like, well, you're not even utilizing Malachi. And it's like, Malachi's not meant to be utilized that much. Like,
well, he's meant to be utilized, but in a different way.
Yeah, he's meant to be the end all be all. Like, he's meant to be like, all right, now you're fucking with me. Like, now you got to me. So what are you going to do type of thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I liked how I liked him a lot in AEW. I liked House of Black a lot in AEW. And if he's gone, he's gone. And I think if Brody's going to be taking over House of Black, he's a fucking phenomenal person to take it over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Brody and Julia. Love them. Gotta be my favorite tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brody King and Julia Hart.
All right. So let's...
Ghost is looking at the wall like he's in timeout.
So... we're going to move on here to something... Oh, man. Let's talk about the state of AEW right now.
Oh, God.
So, I have a tweet that we will get to in a second of a breakdown of people, of what they're doing in AEW. And some of it's true, some of it does get carried away. But before we do that, we need to talk about a match that was announced that broke the fucking internet. Mm-hmm. Even AEW fans are pissed off about this. I forget who's all in this match.
I can tell you.
Okay, so they announced the 12-man tag for Collision coming up. Maximum Carnage. It's the Death Riders, which is Mox,
Yuta, and Claudio.
And Claudio teaming with the Learning Tree,
Chris Jericho, Big Bill, Brian Keith.
And then on the opposing team, it's Rated FTR.
Rated FTR, which is FTR and Cope.
And the Outrunners, right?
The Outrunners and Will Hobbs.
And Will Hobbs. Oh, oh boy.
So here's the thing, right?
Mind you, Will Hobbs, I mean, we didn't get to our Dynamite review yet. Will Hobbs won the Casino Gauntlet to become #1 contender for Mox's title. Darby Allin was also fitted to be the one to probably take the belt off of Mox, but Darby has been written off of TV because he wants to go climb Mount Everest and unalive himself, pretty much. I'm really concerned for the boy. But people on Twitter, all this that I'm bringing up, those are the main 3 things people on Twitter are bitching about. This 12-man tag, Darby Allin not giving a fuck and going to climb Mount Everest, why he's fitted to be in the world title scene, and Jon Moxley challenging Will Hobbs.
So let me break this down for you a little bit, okay?
People are pissed.
Let me break this down for you a little bit. So starting with the 12-man tag, I'll play the devil's advocate to a small degree because I don't like this 12-man tag. I don't care about a 12-man tag. I'm always here for a 12-man tag. But the people in it is the issue with it. And I'll play the devil's advocate in saying, okay, well, Mox and the Death Riders, they have beef with Cope and FTR, and Will Hobbs is going to be going against Mox for the world title. So there's correlation there. And then the Learning Tree also has beef with Rated FTR. So there's correlation there. And the Outrunners are there because they're friends with FTR. So I guess I could see how that works out. But the Outrunners really have no to my knowledge, unless there's something going on Ring of Honor TV that I'm unaware of, which there might be. There might be, so I'll give that the pass if there is. To my knowledge, the Outrunners have no business with the Death Riders at the moment, and I don't think they have any business with Jericho and the Learning Tree, but they might. Again, there's stuff going on Ring of Honor, so they might. Hobbs only is really going after Mox and like his boys, so that's that. I mean, I could see him just not liking Chris Jericho and being mad at Chris Jericho for existing, so sure, we could toss that in as a possibility. But he's really only there for one guy, and well, Cope's side kind of makes sense of just like Cope and his friends with his friends, and then the guy that has the same common enemy. Why the fuck is the Death Riders teaming with the Learning Tree when the Death Riders' whole thing is there's too many fucking egos in this goddamn fucking locker room and I'm here to take them all down? Oh, okay, I'll team up with the guy with the biggest ego whose gimmick is his fucking ego. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just a big smorgasbord of doesn't make it makes less sense than it does make sense. Like, you can draw parallels to like really over explain it away to be like, well, yeah, I can see what they're doing, and I can see what they're doing through like if I squint my eyes and tilt my head and turn around and hop on my left foot 3 times. But I can easily write this off as it being just a smorgasbord of a disaster. And I don't even get the point in doing this. Like, we could have had separate matches or whatever. We could have had better people being put into this. We didn't need to like smush it all together into one, basically. The Darby thing.
I was gonna say, let's transition into number 2.
Yeah, so the Darby thing.
Wait, I didn't get to fucking say what I wanted to fucking say.
You don't get to say anything.
What the fuck?
Okay. Talk.
I think the 12-man tag is fucking stupid. Why the Death Rider storyline, fucking stupid. It's garbage. We need the pivot. Fucking stupid. Tony, give the book to someone else. All right. Darby Allin.
So Darby, I'm 50-50 on this one. Maybe closer to 70-30, right? I understand why people are blaming Darby and being like, you are lined up to be next in this title picture. You are one of the faces of this company. And instead of sticking around for this story, which is centered around you right now, you're just going to up and leave. And that's kind of unprofessional. And you shouldn't win the title. And you should never be in the title picture because clearly you don't actually give a shit about your position in this company. And I can see where people are saying that. And I understand where they're coming from with that. However, I am more on the side of, we've been known for a year that Darby was going to be climbing Mount Everest. He was supposed to last year, but he broke his foot. But he clearly said, well, I'm just going to do it next year. I'm pretty sure he said verbatim, okay, when I'm healed, I'm doing it next year. I had to push it off, but I'm doing it next year. It was a very clear cut. We knew Darby was still going to be climbing Mount Everest next year. So I am more on the side of I'm putting this blame more on Tony than I am on Darby, because Tony Khan had 12 fucking months to figure something out with Darby and this Death Rider storyline. Unless this was a last minute booking decision, which is also on Tony and fucking stupid, knowing Darby's going to Mount Everest. He had 12 fucking months to figure something out. He could have not immediately introduced Darby into this story, knowing Darby was going to be going on this life-threatening fucking adventure. He could have put some other fucking face in the company. I know you would have moaned and groaned about this the whole fucking way. We could have extended Orange, or we could have pushed Orange a little bit further back, and I don't know, brought in a different pillar, like throw Jack Perry in there, fuck it.
No, this is what they should have fucking done at this goddamn fucking point, and this is coming from me. Yeah, let Danielson win the belt. Cool, right? You know who should have fucking killed him off? Hangman.
There you go. And that, that's another thing. We could have stretched differently in a different direction with...
Or, even better, hold on. Danielson wins the belt, right? At All In, he wins the belt. Mm-hmm. He gets his moment. He was gonna fucking lose it anyway and retire. We already fucking knew it. let him lose it at All Out to Hangman. And then you get Swerve and Hangman. What was the next pay-per-view after that? Full Gear?
I think so.
And that would be their blow-off match for the world title.
So, what I think we could have done instead of lumping Orange, Jay, and Hanger all into one, we could have had Orange start this, because he did. Orange started the whole thing. We could have Orange start this. Then we could have went to Jay White. Then we could have went to Hanger. And then by the time all those storylines are done and over with, we could have brought Darby in, because Darby would have been back from Mount Everest if he's not dead. Like, we could have pushed Darby a little bit further out and didn't need him to come out immediately for this world title picture. And I blame this more on Tony than I do on Darby, because I'm just going to be straight up. Like any other job, you put in for a day, a week off. You have a vacation plan next year, right? I go into work. I have a vacation plan for next year. I'm going to fucking, I don't know, I'm going to Florida. I wouldn't be going to Florida right now, but I'm going to Florida. Fuck it. I'm going to Florida next year around this time because the cold's bothering me and I'm over and I deserve a vacation. I put in for a week off. You have a whole year. You're not going to, because schedules aren't made that same way, but you have a whole year to prepare for the fact that I am not going to be at work. You're going to be down a manager in one fucking year. So you're good to plan around that and figure that out. A year later, it's coming up. All right, I'm 2 weeks out from my vacation. I'm ready. I put this time off a year ago. My manager comes up to me and says, "You're going to be gone for a week? You're going on vacation for a week? We can't have you going on vacation for a week because we need you to open and close the store. We need you to do this, that, and the other thing." "Oh, I'm sorry. I told you a year ago that I was going to be having this vacation. I had this time off. This isn't on me. I'm still going on my fucking vacation because you've been known about this for 365 days. It was your job to accommodate for this and make sure we had management, made sure we have staff. This is out of my hands. You approved this time last year. So I'm going on my vacation. You need to figure out what to do now." Any other job, any other fucking job. But because it's wrestling, it's pinpointed on the person. No, don't get me, it's pinpointed on the person that's going to be on TV. And no, don't get me wrong, Mount Everest is probably still going to be there next year. Mount Everest is probably still going to be there in 6 months. Climate change is a real thing that we're not going to get into, but I would assume that mountain's still going to fucking be there. So yeah, can Darby just go a different time? He could. He absolutely could. In my opinion, though, if you are the big boss, the CEO, the man who is writing the stories and who is writing essentially the schedule, that is your responsibility to figure it out. And if you cannot figure it out within a year's time, I do not know what to fucking tell you.
The thing is, I'm all about people going to live their fucking dreams and doing whatever the fuck they want. But if I have you under contract and I am paying you a lot of fucking money to be a star on my wrestling show, I expect you to show up for your goddamn bookings. And I don't care. I know Darby's gone on record and said, "I don't want to win the world title." Yeah, there's fucking other wrestlers that have said that before. Tommy Dreamer, myself. None of us fucking mean it. No one Your goal in wrestling is to win the world championship. It always is. It's always everyone's goal. You want to be on top in all of this. So don't give me that bullshit. So if I have you penciled in to win the world title at a big fucking show, don't go killing yourself climbing Mount Everest, dabbing Jay. Don't be moving yourself to North Carolina.
But now, why would you, with the time frame in advance to know?
Because I didn't know Jay was gonna up and leave.
Not you. Why would you, knowing that what time frame this is, why would you pencil it in like that? Why would you say, yeah, around the time when Darby's going to be going to Mount Everest, I think that's when I want... No, that's stupid.
Because, low-key, I think nobody in AEW, even Tony, even though he's fucking stupid, doesn't want Darby climbing Mount Everest. None of his Darby Allin fans don't even want Darby climbing Mount Everest. He's going to die.
No, I don't want him to climb it either. But that's besides the point. He doesn't give a fuck. He's gonna do it anyway.
I know, but he's going to die.
My point is, why would you fuck yourself in building this whole thing up?
Tony's fucked himself way before that.
But I'm just saying, why would you do that to yourself? And now everyone's gonna go and pinpoint the blame on Darby. Like, look, I would not pinpoint this blame on Darby. I'm pinpointing it on fucking Tony.
It's both of their faults, if you think about it.
It's both of their faults, but it's more Tony's fault. It's absolutely more Tony's.
It's a lot of Tony's fault,
Darby didn't go and say, I want to be feuding with Mox around the time that I'm going to potentially die on Mount Everest. That sounds like a perfect plan to me. Darby's not the one writing the fucking script.
What if this is just a whole... Maybe, what if this is Tony... Because they did write off Darby. They killed him off, practically. What if the end-all be-all is still Darby, but it's like, well, now we gotta prolong it. But what happens if Darby, fucking dies? Well, then you're fucked.
You have a backup plan. Put it on Sting. Bring him back. I don't know. Like, I don't know. At that point, go to Cope.
What was the third fucking thing that AEW fans are pissed off about that we need to bring up? It was a 12-man tag, Darby thing.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Anyway.
You might remember.
I don't fucking remember.
As you talk about this post.
Yeah.
It might come up.
So I saw a post on Twitter. And someone just did like a whole rundown of like certain people in AEW and like what's wrong, like the current state of AEW. And I'm going to read these off. Some of these, most of them, I agree with. And some of them, it's like, okay, you're just being a Twitter troll. I'm not going to put the person on Twitter at blast. He seems like a cool guy, or them. I don't know what they are. Anyway, we're going to just go from this. So, the Death Riders.
Wait, are we going to say agree or disagree as we go through each of these?
We're going to give a brief statement of what we think. I'll go first. The Death Riders. Dead from the jump. It started off interesting, and then it just got too convoluted.
Yeah, I wouldn't say dead from the jump. I was very interested in this, and I was like, I'm going to let this play out because this seems like it could be really good, and there's no direction in it. So yeah. I'm disinterested.
It started off interesting. And I know I made jokes of like, oh, romper stompers and stuff like that. But then now I don't even fucking know what movies they're quoting.
I'm confused. I'm tired of Mox talking in riddles.
It's bad.
I want to see the world title again.
Anyway, Cope. Nope. Yeah. Yep.
Here's the thing. I was really here when Cope had the TNT championship. I liked the Cope Open and everything. And then he got hurt, and now he's back. I can't say too much right now because he just came back, so I really don't know.
Do I think it's good having him there for the younger guys?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
He should just be Adam Copeland. The name is dumb. The rah-rah speeches are fucking just stupid. Don't put the belt on him unless you're going to put the belt on him and Christian cashes in. People are going to be pissed off either way because it's a bunch of old WWE guys. So I can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah, but that story's not over with and we're expecting it. Yeah. But I need to see what he's going to be doing now that he's back. I really don't have an opinion too much.
Teaming with FTR.
Well, yeah, he's teaming with FTR. I feel like him and FTR make a good team. So I'm okay with it. I just want to see what direction they put him in, and hopefully he doesn't get swallowed up and fizzled out with the stupid Death Riders bullshit.
The Hurt Syndicate. No direction. Now, I get what they're saying here, because I said it to Lyssie before. The Hurt Syndicate's good. I love the Hurt Syndicate. But if you watch Dynamite, and you see all the stupid indie fucking garbage bullshit everyone else is doing, then you get to the Hurt Syndicate segment. It's not supposed to be in this episode.
I think the Hurt Syndicate now has a bit more direction now that they got their footing in AEW. Because their whole thing initially was come in, make a statement, we hurt people, beat the shit out of people, right? Now that they're like looking at Private Party and whatnot, they have a direction going with the tag titles, which I think that they should fucking win. Because Private Party hasn't done jack fucking shit with them. And I fucking keep forgetting that we even have tag champions. So I honestly think that now we have a direction, put the belts on them, and then make them destroy every single person in their fucking path. Make them a force to be reckoned with. That's what I want to see with them. So I disagree in no direction. I think we're getting there now. And I also love them.
Darby Allin, about to unalive himself on Mount Everest, concerned.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ricochet, they're throwing toilet paper at him.
See, this is so stupid. Like,
I mean, he just like killed Swerve like last week or 2 weeks ago, so I'll give it time.
Yes, like that's so fucking stupid because like everyone was like poking fun and being like, "Oh yeah, WWE's not too bad." But
I'll give it time.
His whole it's seemingly right now his whole switch is that kid. This sounds terrible, but the kid that got bullied too much in school and then went into school with the people.
Yeah, he just turned heel, so I'll give it time.
Yeah, giving it time on that.
Orange Cassidy, whatever. Yep, that's how I fucking feel.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing with it now.
It's been the fucking same for fucking years. It something needs to happen. Christian Cage, more dead dad insults.
I mean, look, I was saying, I think I was actually saying this to Mark the other day. Honestly, Christian does his gimmick so fucking well.
Oh, Christian is like one of the best heels in wrestling.
Yeah, he's doing the gimmick so well that it can't get stale. He has been doing this since he turned on Jack, because Jack Perry was the first one that he said, "You need a father figure, but your father's dead." He was the first one that he feuded with that kicked this whole thing off. So he's been doing this for what, 3 years?
Yeah.
I want to say it's been 2 or 3 years. And it hasn't gotten stale. People still fucking love Christian and still fucking love what he's doing. So I want him to do this fucking gimmick until he retires. It's so fucking good. And anyone who wants to say it's getting old, you're boring and you suck and I hate you. Learn to laugh. Continue.
Hook. Worst promo in wrestling.
He's not good.
It's bad.
He's not good at promos.
It's bad.
I want to see more with Hook.
They should just let Taz talk for him.
Like, yeah. No, honestly. I want to see I want to see more with Hook because
Hook needs to go to NXT.
Once, and I'm not trying to sound biased, and you can honestly correct me if I'm wrong. Once Hook finished his feud with Hollywood Jack, after the whole Real Glass, Go Cry Me a River, Hook's been tanking. Hook has been downhill since his feud with Jack. Like, they have not known what to do with him. Yeah, like, he was back and forth with the FTW picture and whatnot, and everything like that, but it hasn't been exciting. And I honestly think one of the reasons why it kind of fell through is because Hook had a friend in Jack, and then they ended up, like, Jack turned on him.
Friend in me.
And now Hook is kind of just like this loner character and hasn't really let anyone in to trust him, but they're not like, I mean, he had like Joe, he was good with Joe and Shibata and whatnot. Like, he hangs out with them. I mean, you see him backstage with friends and whatnot, but like, when it comes to like how they're presenting him, like, I feel like they should be presenting him more of like a hardened loner who doesn't let anyone in, instead of trying to be this hard, tough guy. And then you see him eating a bag of chips with fucking Orange Cassidy. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that he's a little convoluted of a character and not in a good way. And they need to kind of pick a focal point with them and go with it. Like, if Hook's just gonna be the chill dude backstage that's eating chips and hanging out with Shibata and Samoa Joe, fucking run it home with him with that. If he's gonna be the loner fucking dude that beats the shit out of people, run it fucking home with him. Don't tiptoe back and forth between them.
Hangman Page in a meaningless feud with Christopher Daniels.
Stupid. Stupid fucking point.
Can I get my points? Goddamn.
You talk over me all the time.
Shut the fuck up.
You literally interrupt me all the fucking time on
Anyway.
this podcast.
I don't think it's a meaningless feud. I'm excited to see where it goes, and that's just me because I'm a fan of Christopher Daniels.
No, I think I don't think it's meaningless at all.
There is something there, technically.
Yeah, like, again, it's one of those things where it's like, you don't need a big story for a match, And it's a very simplistic, tale as old as time fucking story.
And
We've known each other for 14 years. You're driving yourself insane and I care about you. No, fuck you. I don't like you. Let's fight.
And it's a feud that Hangman's going to win after losing a bunch of feuds. It's a feud for him to win. It's easy.
And if he doesn't win, it's just more character development of driving him into madness. It's a win-win for Hangman.
Yeah, technically. Beast Mordos. He growls when he talks.
Rawr.
Kyle O'Reilly. Watching him wrestle is like watching flies fuck.
I think that's an incorrect statement.
I don't know what that means.
I think it means it's boring or something. Like, it's not.
Oh, Kyle O'Reilly's pretty good wrestling.
Yeah, no, I think Kyle O'Reilly's fucking great, and I wish he was utilized more. Like, I mean, he's in now with the Undisputed Era or whatever, or what are the Undisputed Kingdom, and you know that's pretty cool. I just want to see him on TV more. Obviously, I know he was gone for 2 years because he was injured and he's diabetic, so it took a long time for it to heal and everything like that. You know, it is what it is. But now that he's back, I want to see him more, and I feel like they could be doing more with him. And honestly, genuinely, not that I'm upset to see him with Roddy and Adam again, but I really feel like there should have been a little bit of like a more in-depth feud with Adam and Kyle instead of just, I'm mad at you because now Roddy's hurt. And then they all beat MJF and they're like, we're friends again. I feel like that there was a little bit something more there and we should have went with it unless, which I don't think we're going to, but unless we're going with the storyline of Kyle giving Adam a taste of his own medicine and gaining his trust again as a friend just to backstab him like he did with MJF. Which would be interesting and really cool to see. But I don't feel like that's the direction we're going.
No. Anyway, Roderick Strong screams really loud.
Dylan!
Whatever. Mercedes Moné has all of her bangers in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
her stuff in AEW hasn't been as great as I want it to be, but she's not terrible. She's not the worst. It's just lackluster.
Jay White, buried.
I was expecting a lot more from Jay White, but
I mean, yeah. You can't really say buried though. He was just in the world title match.
He was in the world title picture. He held trios belts and whatnot.
But I do understand.
Yeah, like it's again one of those things where it's like I just wanted more from this guy.
The people on Twitter don't understand the term buried.
Yeah.
Someone that is actually buried, I think, in my opinion, Jamie Hayter, buried.
Yeah, I don't even know what they're doing with it right now. I mean, I know that she had the thing with Julia. I think Julia was her first match, or she was Julia's first match back, and that was pretty cool. But that was another story that I kind of wish we got more of, because Julia had her vignettes, she kept cutting Jamie Hayter off and whatnot. But I feel like it happened really quick. Like, it happened really quick. We had the match on TV, and that was really it. And I kind of... Well, actually, I don't know. She misted Jamie. So she misted Jamie Hayter. So maybe Julia Hart's going to start a Goth Girls clique.
Sure.
So, because we have Sky Blue that's going to hopefully be coming back soon out of her injury. So maybe Jamie is going to turn evil and goth with Julia and Sky. And if that happens, I want the 70s goth Jamie Hayter. Give me it now.
Swerve Strickland. Forgotten.
No, absolutely not. I do not agree with that.
I get what they're saying because, like, he's a former world champion and he went way down the card.
He did, but the shit he's doing with Ricochet right now is pretty solid.
Yeah.
And we still have that lingering Hangman Swerve thing going on. I absolutely don't think, because he's on TV a lot. He did go down in the card, yeah. But he's still on TV a lot, and he's still getting a lot of good crowd reaction. So I would not say forgotten. I would just say he's not on top like he was before, and that's fine. That sometimes happens. I mean, Hangman was a world champion. He wasn't on top for a little bit. You know what I mean? The only world champion that I could think of in recent memories that is still on, well, going to be on top and will always be on top of the card is Kenny. You know what I mean? MJF fell heavy from the card as a world champion.
We'll get to him in a little bit. FTR, find the remote. Yeah. At this point, I love FTR, but at this fucking point, It's fine the fucking remote. Because what the fuck? I don't need to hear another fucking my wife, my kids, AEW. I don't need to fucking hear it.
I do love that Dax loves his wife and kids though. But I think Cash should pull out a gun.
Honestly, at this fucking point, Chris Jericho, holy fuck.
Oh, is that all it says?
Yeah.
Chris Jericho, please retire.
Go the fuck away. No one fucking likes you. MJF. In a feud with Jeff Jarrett. The feud just started.
And that's going to be a good fucking match.
It's going to be a good match.
That's going to be a good fucking match. And honestly, I think I think it has potential to be a pretty good feud because you got Jeff Jarrett, the old timer, who's still got it left in him, and you have MJF who really thinks he's this pompous, better than you, baby person. And Jeff Jarrett's going to fucking whoop his ass.
Yeah. The Acclaimed. Biggest downfall in AEW. Yeah.
It should be studied. Free Anthony Bowens.
A lot of things should be studied.
Free Anthony Bowens.
Okada. Bitch. Okay. Malachi Black. Mentally checked out. He is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Buddy Matthews. Will Ospreay called him Buddy Murphy.
He did. And Buddy Matthews is another one I'd love to see more from. Now, he has been getting more singles matches, which is great. But again, Buddy Matthews, I think, is an absolute phenomenal wrestler. I think all the people in House of Black are phenomenal fucking wrestlers. Buddy Matthews is just one I'd love to see more of. And maybe if Malachi is out and it's just him and Brody, we might get that more. And I'm here for it.
Adam Cole. No aura. Yeah. I agree. The downfall of Adam Cole. I know you like Adam Cole, but the downfall of Adam Cole needs to be studied.
I love Adam Cole. Again, fantastic fucking wrestler. I just don't know what the fuck is going on with him.
It's bad. Private Party. Who?
Again, I hate to say it, but they are doing nothing with the fucking tag titles.
They're not.
And the thing is, even if they're on Collision, and this might sound terrible for me to say, even if they're on Collision, that's not the main card. That's not the main show. Why have I saw them on Dynamite last week. They had their little party thing, and then, the Hurt Syndicate came out. But why is it before then I have not seen them on fucking Dynamite? And they're the fucking tag champions. Like, if you're going to put the belts on them, give them the fucking TV time. Like, let them do something. You know what I mean? But
Mariah May. Worst AEW women's champion ever.
Incorrect. Thunder Rosa held the belt.
What's Mariah May doing with the belt right now?
More than Thunder Rosa did.
Who is she feuding with?
She is feuding with, I know she either did just have one or she's having a match with Harley Cameron. And Harley Cameron's been growing with the audience a lot. Especially now that I haven't seen her with Saraya recently. A lot of people do really like her.
The TBS title means more.
And the TBS title is presented better, and that's because fucking Mercedes holds it. And we had this conversation earlier, is that Mercedes is holding it, and because she's holding it, and she's like this huge fucking signing, of course they're going to present her better because they're paying her more money in X, Y, and Z and whatnot. I think that's flip-flopped. At that point, I think you should have just put the belt on fucking Mercedes. If you're going to make her this big fucking star and whatnot, and really showcase the belt.
Exactly.
And I don't think it's Mariah's fault. I think it's very much of a Hangman situation where Hangman had killer fucking matches, but his booking just wasn't up to par when he was world champion.
Tony
and I feel
doesn't care about women's wrestling.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of the same thing with Mariah right now. But I will say this much. At least Mariah's on TV. At least Mariah's defending the fucking belt. At least Mariah's not holding the belt fucking hostage like Thunder Rosa was. So I don't think she was the worst champion at all.
Yeah.
I think she's putting on better matches, and she has a better fucking work ethic, and I think she's more enjoyable to watch.
Julia Hart, not a real goth.
That's just mean to say. Okay, leave her gimmick alone.
Toni Storm, she forgot who she was.
Oh wait, actually, really quick, I want to go back to Julia Hart. She shared one of my my drawing of her on Instagram, and that meant a lot.
That's nice.
It was a really cool drawing.
Toni Storm, she forgot who she was.
She has amnesia, yeah, and I love it. I fucking love it.
It's interesting. Daniel Garcia, Do your stupid dance and shut up. Yeah.
Disappointing TNT title reign. You're gonna take it off of fucking Jack Perry and you're doing this with it? Like, come on, dude. Like, you are one of the baby faces that people back behind. And I think Corey was saying this to me the other day of like, he's a really good wrestler, but he has no fucking character. And like, he's just kind of there. He's just kind of a guy. And I think Daniel Garcia has charisma and he has character, but it's not presented in the right way.
Kyle Fletcher. He's not Randy Orton.
He's better.
No. No. Kenny Omega. I don't understand this one because he just came back. Looks like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
Powerhouse Hobbs. He's just not that guy.
He's not.
He's not that guy.
Hobbs is a solid wrestler. I'll give him that much, but he's... And again, maybe this is just the way that he is presented. I don't know, but he doesn't have that star feel to him. He has that star look to him. Like, Hobbs looks like a motherfucker who could be on fucking top. But he's just not, like, given that oomph or has that oomph. Kind of like... This is crazy for me to say. Kind of like Brian Cage. Brian Cage has that physique of a top guy. Of a Vince McMahon wet dream type of fucking guy. He's a big fucking meaty fucking guy. But he has no personality to him. He has no fucking aura to him. He has nothing. He is just muscle. And I feel like that's kind of also how they're presenting Hobbs, which is unfortunate. Because I do think Hobbs could have done a lot more. I still don't understand that whole Book of Hobbs thing he was doing. I like it. That was like a story and a thing
that got dropped.
Yeah, that was a story and a thing that they had going for him. But even when that was happening, I still really don't understand what the point of it was.
Yeah, no, like it got dropped. Ricky Starks being punished for having friends in WWE. He is.
Actually, I don't have much of a comment on that because I don't really know the whole story of what's going on with Ricky Starks and if it even has that much to do with his friends in WWE.
It does.
I don't want to say anything for certain on that, but either way, he's being held hostage and not used, so just let him go.
Wardlow. Where the fuck?
No idea.
Exactly. Dan Housen has a hot wife.
And is having a baby.
Baby Housen.
Babyhausen.
Samoa Joe. Hollywood.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of...
He's doing the Twisted Metal thing.
Yeah, he's doing Twisted Metal. I'm excited for when Joe comes back when that's done. I miss Joe.
Eddie Kingston. Injured. Sky Blue. Injured.
Eddie's going through rehab right now.
He like fucked up his leg.
Yeah, he really fucked up his leg.
He's gonna be out until like July. He's
going through rehab right now, which is good to see. He looks great. He's got a whole beard. Dude, he looks like a mean motherfucker. And Sky Blue, I don't really know what's going on with her right now with her injury. But I can't wait for her to come back too because I love Sky Blue.
Bryan Danielson retired.
No, he was murdered. Okay,
And
get it right.
Sting is 65 years old.
Sting wished Darby a happy birthday.
And
He said from old man Sting. How cute.
We're gonna quickly go through the rest of like the roster, and just like really quick of like, just give like a quick thing like example. Aaron Solo, get rid of him.
I don't know what he's doing. He might be in Ring of Honor.
Action Andrade, get rid of him.
Hey, your first name's Action.
We already did Adam Cole. We already did Paige. Fucking Alex needs to go. Both Alexes. Reynolds.
No.
Hype Man Alex.
No.
They need to fucking go.
No, right, I love Alex Reynolds.
Put Alex Reynolds in fucking Ring of Honor.
We
need more Angelico.
Okay.
He can be on Dynamite or Collision jobbing the people, and it would be fun.
Cool gear.
Angelo Parker, he's having a kid. I can't say much.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Ogogo, get rid of him.
I don't even know what he's doing. He's a champion? Oh no, he's with Shane Taylor Promotions.
AR Fox, where the fuck did you go?
Mm-hmm.
Davari, go away.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck happened to the Guns?
Is one of them injured?
I don't fucking know. Bandito hurt himself after coming back.
I know, and they had such cool hype packages for him. I loved those hype packages.
So I don't know how to feel about fucking Bandino. Big Bill.
Get away from Chris Jericho.
I'm sorry. Billy Gunn needs to go to fuck away.
Daddy ass Billy Gunn is how it's written.
Bishop Khan needs to go away. Brandon Cutler needs to go.
No. I like Brandon Cutler when he was coming out for the Elite and he was like just like doing their business and then he got beat up. I loved that.
Brian Cage is generic as fuck.
Yeah.
Brody King's the best member of House of Black, fun fact.
I fucking love Brody King and I want to give him a hug.
Brian Keith needs to get away from Jericho.
Yes, Brian Keith is so fucking good. Why is that render of Jericho? Oh, Chuck Taylor's still on the roster?
I guess. He doesn't need to be there.
He's a trainer now, right?
Colt Cabana can fucking fuck himself.
Dan Housen. We already talked about Dan.
He has a hot wife. Dante Martin can go away. Darius Martin can go away. Drilistico can go away. Dustin Rhodes needs to fucking retire.
Is he double champ?
Yeah, he's the trios champs with the Von Erichs and tag team champs with Sammy.
Good for him.
The Righteous, I want more of them.
I want them back. Put them on my TV.
Evil Uno can go to fuck away. Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
Who the fuck is Griff Garrison? I didn't even know Griff Garrison was still on the roster.
I didn't know what happened to Hologram, and I asked someone on Twitter of like, because they were sharing Hologram stuff. I was like, genuine question, not trolling. What happened to Hologram? He supposedly got injured.
Oh.
So yeah. Jack Perry, well.
No, tell me what you want to say about Jack Perry.
He can leave.
No! Jack is fucking good. He doesn't need to leave. He needs to murder
Jay
people.
Lethal should be a champion.
Jay Lethal should have been a champion 10 times over.
Jeff Jarrett should be a champion.
10 times over.
John Silver ran its course. Johnny TV, I don't even know what the fuck you're doing. Josh Woods, well, sure. Juice Robinson's hurt. Shibata, I mean...
I love Shibata.
I hate what he's doing now, but... Keith Lee, fucking get rid of him.
He's still having like a lot of health problems.
Kill Switch, he has a pneumonia.
Yeah.
Kip Saban.
Put him on TV more for me. I know he's with Christian.
Yeah, he's with Christian and shit.
But like, put him in the ring. I need Kip Sabian in the fucking ring more. Dear fucking God.
Commander, the most generic luchador. Takeshita should be world champion.
He should have all the belts, even the women's championship.
Kota Ibushi should like not be brought back.
Oh, he is no longer titled as with the Elite. Interesting. Interesting developments.
Lance Archer, more of. Get him out of Don Callis family.
Yeah, Lance Archer, put him on my TV more.
Lee Johnson sucks. Lee Moriarty's pretty good, but he's in Ring of Honor. Leo Rush, fuck off.
Why? He's signed again?
Unfortunately. Why is Luther still here? Mark Briscoe, they missed the big thing with Mark Briscoe. Mark Davis, yeah, I kind of figured that he was going to fucking be nothing after returning. Where's fucking Smart Mark?
He's with the Premier Athletes.
Daddy Magic, he's doing commentary, but just...
Again, I like Daddy Magic.
Go away!
No, I like Daddy Magic with Danny. I like seeing their dynamic. They have a really good dynamic.
Matt Seidel, I guess he's good to be there for like the younger talent.
Yeah.
Hi, Matt Taven. The Young Bucks, they're never going to go away. Michael knock it the fuck off. Mike Bennett, never going to go away. Miro, well, he's just collecting money at this fucking point. We love Brody Lee.
I can't wait for Brody Lee Jr. to turn 18 and show up on TV.
Why is Nick Camarado still here?
Who's Nick Camarado?
He was the guy, the fucking big hairy guy.
What?
You don't remember Nick Camarado?
No.
Yeah, see, no one does. Nick Wayne has a lot of potential. Ortiz, where the fuck has he been? Pac. My biggest problem with fucking Pac, and it's been like this since day one with AEW. If you're going to commit, just fucking commit. I'm sick and tired of these motherfuckers coming in for 3 weeks and then they're gone for 3 months. I'm gonna lose interest. And that's why I don't give a fuck about him. The bastarding is so fucking stupid too. It's dumb. It's a dumb fucking name. It's a dumb name by dumb creative. It's fucking stupid. Just get rid of him.
I love Pac.
I love Paul White.
I also love Paul White.
I don't know why Peter Avalon's still here. Same thing with Preston Vance. Ray Phoenix should be debuting with Penta.
It still says Lucha Bros and Death Triangle on there too.
That's funny. Rush. Another
Rush.
one. Roosh. Another one like Pac. Sammy. Thank God he's in Ring of Honor, because I don't fucking watch Ring of Honor. But honestly, just fucking...
You know what?
Punt him out of... I want to fucking take him and just punt him away.
I don't like Sammy Guevara anymore, but I do want to at least make one point here, is that Sammy would, because he's a face right now, would have been a really good one as a pillar from the company to come out against Mox.
Yeah.
And then we get to see Mox beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, maybe if he wasn't a fucking dumb idiot.
Yeah. But like, he would have been great for that, but he's a fucking moron.
Satnam Singh, well, they're not going to do much with him ever. Scorpio Sky, where the fuck is he? Serpentico, just fucking leave.
No, because I like Serpentico and Nyla Rose's shit.
Sean D, just fucking leave. We love Sanjay Dutt. We love Sting. We love Stokely. We love Swerve. The Butcher and the Blade, I mean, the Butcher does a lot. The Blade is a trainer.
Okay.
And the Butcher cares a lot more about his band. It's kind of like Brody King as well. But honestly, at that point, just fucking get rid of them then.
No, I like seeing him come in every now and again. Seeing the Butcher and the Blade.
Toa Longa, or how the fuck you say his name? The other
Toa Longa.
The other fucking guy. No. Tony Nese, fuck off. Trent Beretta, where the fuck happened to Trent?
He's hurt.
He's hurt?
He's hurt.
Whatever.
I love Trent Beretta. He breaks the rules.
Breaking the rules. Okay. Will Ospreay is like the ace. Abaddon only appears around Halloween. Just fucking go. Anna Jay's great.
Mm-hmm.
Athena should be on the main roster, not Ring of Honor. We don't know where Britt Baker's at. She said we don't care. Nobody cares to Serena Deeb, and then she disappeared. Deonna Purrazzo, I don't care about. Diamante, I have no fucking idea. Emmy Sakura, she appears once.
Sakura.
She appears once a year. It's fucking stupid.
No, I like Emmy, and Emmy's got a lot of like, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of experience. And I think she's good for younger talent to be wrestling. I don't know if she's a trainer or not, but she should be, because she has a lot. I know she had like a school. She trained Rio. And she's fucking great. I wish she was on TV a little bit more. But also I wonder if she does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But she'd be a really good asset to
Harley Cameron, she's still listed as the outcast. She has potential.
Yeah, I like Harley Cameron.
Hikaru Shida.
One of the best.
I wish she would just appear more.
Mm-hmm.
We already talked about Jamie Hayter and Julia Hart. And Camille's still on here.
I think Camille's gone.
I think she's gone. Karen Jarrett should be the women's champion and the TBS champion.
I didn't even know she was on the roster.
Kiera Hogan, I don't care. Chris Statlander should be the world champion. Layla Gray, I don't care. Layla Hirsch, I don't care. Madison Rain is a trainer. Marina Schaefer, she's part of the Death Riders. Mercedes Martinez, where the fuck are you? Where is she?
Doing Ring of Honor? I don't know.
She's great. She's probably being punished because she's a CM Punk girl. Mother Wayne should be world champion. Nyla Rose should be world champion.
I want Nyla Rose on my TV more. I don't
know what Penelope Ford's doing. Queen Amarada, I don't know what the fuck she's doing. I don't care. Rebel, you're gone. Red Velvet, I don't care. Riho, I don't care.
No, bring me more Riho.
Ruby is pregnant or had a baby. She had a baby. Saraya can fucking leave. Serena Deeb should be world champion. Sky Blue's injured. Ty Mello just had a baby.
Ty Mello should be back soon because she just started wrestling.
Taya Valkyrie is stuck with Deonna Purrazzo and it's fucking stupid. Thunder Rosa can fucking leave. Will Nightingale should be world champion. And I don't give one single fuck about Yukiya Sakazaki.
Yuka Sakazaki?
Yuka Sakazaki. Don't give a fuck about her. Broadcast team.
Why are we talking about the broadcast team?
Alex Marvez can fucking fuck the fuck off. Alicia Atout, she dated MJF or whatever. But I don't even fucking know who these fucks are. Bobby Cruz is great. He's in Ring of Honor. Carlos Caribia, he's the Spanish announce team. Excalibur, rough these days. Ian Riccaboni's the greatest announcer. Jim Ross needs to retire. Justin Roberts is great. Lexi Nair is pretty good with like the minion in training stuff in Ring of Honor I've seen. Nigel McGuinness is fucking great. Renee's pretty good. I like Renee. Taz is great. Tony Schiavone should fucking retire.
Taz is the best, and don't ever disrespect Tony Schiavone like that ever again.
Aubrey Edwards needs to leave.
Don't disrespect Aubrey like that.
I don't know that referee. Bryce is the greatest ref. Mike Posey's great. Paul Turner's great. And Mike Knox needs to fucking leave. I don't know who's
Rick Knox?
Rick Knox. Yeah, Mike Knox.
Mike Knox.
Jerry Lynn's a great coach. Pat Buck's a great coach. That's all. That's the state of AEW.
Cool. Can we talk about something else now? Because we've been talking about this for like ever.
We have been. Yeah, so Bryce sent me a video that I'm going to try to play. Like, it's just a voice. So he said, I have a theory. I want to record myself explaining it and send it to you so you can play it on your podcast. It's about this Bianca and Jade story.
Okay.
So Bryce sent me this a video. So I'm going to try to, hopefully the mics pick it up.
All right, what's up, guys? Bryce from the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. You know me.
Don't go too close. What is this problem?
It goes 4 minutes.
Betty. So you guys obviously know what's been going on recently with the Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair storyline.
I don't.
Recently in the triple threat match, which was the qualifier for the Women's United States Championship match, that involved Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, and Blair Davenport. Obviously, Jade Cargill was attacked before the match. I have a little bit of a theory on who attacked Jade Cargill. Everybody is continuously pointing their finger now at Bianca Belair, which I think is a good thing to do. I mean, rightfully so. You know, why all of a sudden is Bianca Belair trying to make a name for herself as a single star now that Jade Cargill's out of the picture? I mean, you know, Jade Cargill, everybody even said it. She's almost a carbon copy of what Bianca Belair is, just a little bit better. So, of course, Bianca's going to get jealous, right? Well, yeah, that would make sense. And everybody is going to continue to point their finger at Bianca. And she's going to get really upset about it. And throughout the continuous weeks, we're obviously going to see the frustration in Bianca and how angry she really is about everybody saying that she is the person that attacked her own partner. So, we get around to the point where we're finally going to find out who attacked Jade Cargill. And turns out, it wasn't Bianca Belair. It was Piper Niven. Keep this in mind. The match that Jade Cargill got attacked before was a triple threat match that Chelsea Green was in. Chelsea Green later became the champion. So why wouldn't Piper Niven help her partner become the champion? But it doesn't just end there. It doesn't just end with Piper attacking Jade Cargill, because that would just be too easy. You know, everybody would get bored of that storyline, and then we'd have everybody just complaining about it on Twitter. So where are they going to go with it? How are we going to go with this twist and turn? So everybody was pointing their finger at Bianca. Everybody was saying that Bianca Belair was the person who attacked Jade Cargill, and she was getting very upset about this. So now that Jade Cargill's back, she goes up to her partner and she's like, hey, look, clean slate. Obviously, it wasn't you. I never once thought it was you. And she's like, wait a second, what does that mean? And she's like, I never thought it was you. And she's like, wait, that in a way kind of sounds like you had a thought that it was me. She's just really paranoid about it, right? So they get in a really big fight. They kind of like break up a little bit. And Bianca Belair is all on her own. And Bianca Belair isn't really heel, but she's not really face. She's kind of just that in the middle character. See, my thought is they're going to go Sting 1997 route. Everybody consistently thought that Sting was a part of the NWO when he wasn't, even when they had a fake Sting to pretend to be the man. So I think everybody pointing their finger at Bianca is going to send her to a breaking point, just like it did for Sting. So I don't know. That's just a theory. Obviously, I really don't think it's going to go that way, but it would be interesting to see.
Now, Just sum up, just in case the mic didn't pick it all up. Just sum up like what his theory was.
Okay.
No, just sum.
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, just sum it up.
So basically, Bryce is saying
Just
that...
in case the mics didn't pick it up.
Oh, I definitely think it did. But
Yeah.
basically, people are pinpointing Bianca to be the one to attack Jade, but it wasn't Jade. Or it wasn't Bianca. It was actually Piper Niven, because Piper Niven was trying to take her out so Chelsea can move on to win the championship. And everyone continuously pointing the finger at Bianca, starts driving her crazy, and then it comes out that it was actually Piper who attacked Jade. And Jade goes up to Bianca and is like, I didn't think you would have been the one to do it anyway. Never had a thought in my mind it would have been you. But Bianca doesn't believe her, thinks that there was some sort of doubt in Jade's mind, and they kind of aren't really, like on the best terms about it. And then Bianca's kind of running the middle of like a not super like baby face character, but not super heel character, until the pressure gets too much and she loses it.
So, I think Bryce is a little far-fetched on it. I like the theory. I get where he's coming from with the theory. I just think what it's going to be, because I'm putting myself inside of Triple H's mind. If we go back to Shawn Michaels when Toxic Attraction broke up, they did the rocker split, kinda. Mm-hmm. Like, Gigi got fucking super kicked and shit. I think this is exact. Jade knows Bianca did it. They did a storyline years ago where Shawn Michaels like came back and him and Triple H ended up being like best friends and stuff. But they did this thing of like Shawn Michaels got attacked and everything. And like Triple H is in the ring and he's like, we're going to find out who attacked Shawn and all this, right? And Shawn comes on the screen and is like, thank you, like, Hunter. Like, I appreciate that and everything. And he's like, I just want to show you something quick. And he plays the security footage of Triple H attacking him. And then it cuts back to Shawn going, it was you. And I think that's what's going to happen.
I like Bryce's theory a lot, and to be a dick about it, I think it's too smart for WWE.
Yeah.
I think it's too smart and too well thought out for WWE, to the point where it is just gonna be Bianca, and it's gonna be like, I don't think it's gonna necessarily be something where like Jade knows who it is. I don't think Jade's gonna know that it was Bianca. I think I can see them doing something where it's like, we're gonna find out who did it together, and then it's gonna be like security camera footage, and it's gonna be like, oh my god, it was you, Bianca, and then Bianca turns heel and beats the shit out of Jade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I could see happening. But I like Bryce's theory a lot better because it involves character development and involves in-depth story.
It's far-fetched for like a perspective of how they're probably gonna go with it.
I think it's too complicated for WWE. WWE likes to keep things a little bit more simple and easier to digest, whereas this has like 10 different bullet points on it, and it has lore, and WWE doesn't really do lore a whole heck of a lot. The most lore WWE's got going for it right now is the Shield lore, and that's it.
The Bloodline stuff, even. Moving on. Let's talk about...
But I will just say one more thing. That lore is easy to digest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's continue.
Let's talk about actual wrestling that happened on TV/Netflix, and that's Raw. Is Netflix. Mm-hmm. They're on Netflix now.
They sure are.
You can't go on cable television and watch Monday Night Raw. You got to have the Netflix subscription.
By the time you watch this, the second episode of Raw on Netflix is gonna be
this is the debut episode. So, a few things first. The venue was cool.
That venue was nice as fuck.
It was in the Intuit Dome, however you say it, the new place in LA or whatever.
It's nice.
It is nice. It's nice. It was a cool venue. They opened up with like a really cool package called The Story of WWE. They broke kayfabe in it of like, this is a work or whatever, the shoot and stuff.
Between the works and the shoots, you've been there through it all. The World Wrestling Federation turned to World Wrestling Entertainment. We are the WWE.
And then Triple H fucking died.
Yeah.
The fucking pyro went off as he's in the ring.
The curtain drops, and the curtain drops Triple H is standing in the middle of the ring, and I looked at Dylan and I said, how long has he just been standing there? like, did people see him walk into the curtain on the crowd? Or has he been waiting there for hours? Like, they just slide plates of food from catering to him. He's just been chilling there.
Bro, he's just been chilling.
He hasn't even sat down. He's been standing the whole time. Not moving, not walking around.
He's taking phone calls and shit.
Hey, it's Hunter.
Yeah, he's like running the show from like the ring.
Hey,
tell Punk and Rollins they're main eventing.
Punk and Rollins are main eventing.
Anyway, the show truly kicked off with The Rock. He was back. And boy, oh boy, this was confusing. What the fuck happened to my final boss?
Dude, Cody Rhodes was laughing like he wasn't just tortured by this man.
Bro, what the fuck happened?
See, everyone wants to complain about kayfabe, like, from any other fucking promotion, but The Rock just comes out and he's like, hey, Cody, remember when I tortured you and your family?
People were complaining, like, what the fuck? Like, truly, what the fuck?
No, I know.
Like, what happened?
Like, oh yeah, I like put you and your family through the ring. You remember that? And Cody's just over there like slapping his face, like, oh my god, Rocky, you did torture me.
Bro,
and my
like
family. You whipped me with my belt.
They did like a whole backstage segment of The Rock going on Instagram Live, being like, I'm gonna be in NXT tomorrow, and then like him and Cody are drinking tequila, and he gets behind the wheel of the car, and they're drinking tequila. That's not the only thing that happened on this episode of Raw. We'll get to more.
You're yelling.
I'm
You're
sorry.
Yelling.
We'll get to more. Anyway, first match of the night. Tribal combat for the Ula Fala. Roman versus Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Roman finally... Let's put the story to rest. Roman won the Ula Fala.
Yes.
Moving on. It was a pretty decent match, what we expect.
The Rock came out, put the Ula Fala on Roman. They shared a hug. Rock said, I love you to him and everything. They acknowledged, they pointed up to the sky. I looked up to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and I just kept throwing that football. Like...
Let's see. Anyway, moving on.
Go Notre Dame in the championship.
Yeah, Notre Dame national champions. One game away.
Yay, go Notre Dame. Touchdown, Jesus. Praise the Lord, be my Lord and Savior. Amen.
Anyway, the John Cena retirement tour kicked off. I'm not ready for him to go, man.
Dude, that was so fucking funny. That was so funny. He was just like, oh man, the only way I can do this is like if I win the Royal Rumble.
It was funny.
Oh my god, guys, I have the craziest idea.
Bro,
what if I enter the Royal Rumble? Like, that was...
John Cena's in the Rumble.
John Cena is so fucking funny, dude. I'm excited for this retirement tour because just based off of that promo alone, John's not gonna give a single solitary fuck. I don't think John has ever really given a single solitary fuck. Like, he just goes out there and he does his thing, and I do appreciate that from him.
His little song and dance.
Yeah, like, I think he's just gonna be like, straight up, I don't give a fuck, this is my retirement tour. I'm John fucking Cena, dude. I can do whatever the fuck I want, and we're on Netflix. Like, give me the reins. I think he's just gonna fucking go crazy with this shit.
I'm excited to see what he's gonna be doing and shit.
I'm very excited for it.
Anyway, Rhea Ripley, mommy, new champion. They had a pretty good match.
Yeah, solid match.
And then she was celebrating, and then it wasn't rolling. It was Kid Rock, unfortunately. The Undertaker came out and pretty much gave her flowers, though.
Yeah.
Everyone cheered for The Undertaker, who is a Trump supporter. Okay, moving on.
No, I don't want to move on yet. I do want to say, because I was talking to Anna about this, I was like, I really do just wish the only thing I would have changed about this is Rhea getting on the motorcycle and Undertaker riding her out. That would be a cool
Twitter would have had
shot.
A field day.
They would have, but that would have been a cool fucking shot. Can you imagine?
Dee Dee's watching Norman Smiley matches right now.
Oh. Can you imagine, like, the ringside photographers and shit getting those fucking shots? That would have been so fucking cool.
Anyway. Moving on.
It's like her goth grandpa.
This was the greatest thing that happened on this episode. Second, I'm biased towards one of the things. Okay, actually, shit, fuck. So
this was a cool thing that happened.
This was the second out of three things that was really cool that happened here. So second, and coming in second place, Travis Scott smoking weed. Jay Uso was there. Pat McAfee and Michael Cole yeeting. We are so back.
Dude, Michael Cole on top of the fucking table yeeting, and then later on, he posts a fucking photo of his Apple Watch that's like, it seems like you took a hard fall, and it was because he was yeeting.
Bro, Travis Scott was smoking weed. And
Dude,
he's
Michael
smoking a
Cole
blunt.
got called out for being old by his Apple Watch. What
He
a
did.
fucking trip
And
of a
Travis
fucking
Scott's
segment.
just there smoking weed. It was great.
Yeah, because you thought he was smoking like what, a cigar or like a cigarette or
Or
something. I was
something.
like, no, dude, that's a blunt.
And it was a blunt.
Or a joint. It was like one of the two.
Yeah,
I couldn't really
No,
tell.
it was a blunt. It was a blunt. So, moving on to the second best thing that happened all night on this show.
A really cool thing that happened.
Hulkamania is dead. Oh my god, bro. What?
When
so-
it comes crashing
Oh my
down
God.
and you
Oh my god. So, they have Hulk Hogan come out with Jimmy fucking Hart. I feel bad for Jimmy. And Hulk Hogan's just doing a pro. He doesn't even go to the ring. He rips off the Hulkamania shirt. It's like Raw on Netflix or whatever. They're booing him. They are booing the ever-living piss out of Hulk Hogan as he's trying to cut this promo. I'll give him props. He was going and
He
trying.
completed it, yeah.
He completed it, but he was fucking going. Like, they were going, and he was just hyping up was Raw and Netflix and stuff. No one gave
and his beer.
And his beer, because he's a sponsor. No one gave a single fuck. Anyway, it's very funny. Supposedly, quote unquote, they want to bring Hogan back as a heel. I don't think that's true. Hogan also stated that politics were the reason he was booed and was expecting the LA crowd to be 50-50. Same thing according to Eric Bischoff as well. So, when I remember how I just said The Undertaker was there and they cheered him and he's a Trump supporter, but they booed Hulk Hogan, who's a Trump supporter. Lissy, why do you think that is?
Well, I think him being a Trump supporter is the cherry on top. I don't think that's the only reason. I think it's because Hulk Hogan is a known racist piece of fucking shit who also, we'll just say, to add the little cherry on top, was seen photographed coming off of his private jet with a fucking MAGA shirt the day of the Netflix fucking premiere.
Yeah.
So it was also fresh in people's minds where, yes, The Undertaker had Trump on his fucking podcast and shit. Like, this literally just happened before the show. So that's also fresh in people's mind. He is a well-known fucking racist piece of shit. I don't know if he's a rapist or not.
I don't know.
Racist.
Watch yourself there for
Yeah.
a minute.
Might not be a rapist.
I don't know.
Don't know about that. Racist piece of shit. Who is also just washed and people are tired of seeing him. People are tired of seeing fucking Hulk Hogan overall to begin with. And I think that he's a Trump supporter and he was seen wearing a MAGA shirt the day of the Netflix premiere was just kind of the cherry on top where people are just like, oh god, fucking Hogan's gonna be here. I don't want to fucking see Hogan. That's gonna be the bathroom break. And then they see that and they're like, no, actually I'm gonna stick around and boo him. Because fuck this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of where it rolled into. You know what I mean? So, yes, were politics a part of it? I do believe they were, but they were not the sole reason as to why it was a part of it.
Man, oh man. Anyway, moving on to the main event. Punk versus Rollins. Hell fucking yeah.
Seth should have won.
Punk wearing the chokeout jacket.
Okay.
The
Okay.
Ring of Honor jacket.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about this for a second. I know Cultaholic posted. I'm calling you out. I know Cultaholic.
Bro, fuck Cultaholic.
Posted it, but I know there were other people that were also posting about it that was like, ha ha ha, CM Punk wearing the jacket, the brawl-in jacket when he choke out Jack Perry. Ha ha, jab AEW. Ha ha. And it's like, okay, y'all need to at least learn some little bit of fucking history. The fact that this jacket is from fucking Ring of Honor era Punk.
Yeah.
This is not a new jacket that CM Punk bought for All In Wembley to debut his new outfit that he just happened to choke Jack Perry out in. This is like a historical fucking Punk jacket. And Cultaholic should know better, and I'm assuming is doing rage bait. And if they're not, you're a real fucking idiot. Even if you are doing it, you're a real fucking idiot for posting it. But everybody else, you're either same thing going back with the whole Jeff Hardy Cena thing. You're either a brand new wrestling fan who is not aware of anything that happened past like 2020, or you're a fucking idiot and you don't know anything past WWE and AEW.
Yeah.
But I think Seth should have won this. I was talking to Mark about this when he was tattooing me, and we're both like, the story...
Not right outcome. Punk wins.
The story really lined up for Seth to be the first one to win, and then Punk ending up getting the win later.
No, it's supposed to be... No, it makes sense with Punk winning because he's proving a point because he cut a promo afterwards. This story of Punk right now is him proving to everyone that he's not washed. Because he keeps going, 46 is just a number.
But he is washed.
He's proven to everyone that he's not washed. That's the whole point of him winning and stuff.
He has not proved to me he's not washed.
He's going to be world champion one day. Anyway, NXT. Just really quick, because I barely watched this. I was just waiting for The Rock, to be honest with you. He didn't show up until the fucking end. He showed up and just wasted everyone's fucking time and just rambled on and cussed a lot. It was fucking stupid.
Did he really?
Yeah. That's all it was. It was fucking stupid. He did like a backstage segment with Ethan Page, which was pretty cool. And all he said to Ethan Page was like, I hope to see you on the main roster one day. And Ethan Page went, I hope.
I hope to see him on the main roster too, but like I hope he doesn't get the NXT main roster curse where he comes up and then disappears.
Yeah.
Forever.
Moving on to Dynamite. Will Ospreay faced Buddy Murphy.
Killer match.
It was a good match.
Killer fucking match.
And then the only other thing to talk about was the Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay segment.
Yeah, so
with that set up the Omega Brian Cage match.
So Kenny comes back. I'm crying. Tears are pouring from my face because what a beautiful fucking moment this was for me. Kenny comes back and, you know, he's giving his whole, I was gone, I had diverticulitis, I had 2 feet of my intestines removed from me, and the doctor told me, Kenny, you gotta think about healing instead of wrestling, and I thought to myself, maybe I should just give it all up. But who am I without wrestling? Who am I without the crowd? Who am I without X, Y, and Z? I am nobody if I'm not Kenny Omega type of thing. And then that weird, terrible sound of the Don Callis theme music of the brrrr happens. And Don Callis shows his stupid fucking bald head. And before he can even say anything, Kenny Omega's like, I don't care about my 2 feet of intestines. That's gone. And he goes, whoop. And he just jumps out of the ring and he starts beating the shit out of Don Callis. And now he's going to be feuding with Don Callis' family, and he's going to be wrestling Brian Cage next week or Wednesday. And a lot of people I saw were kind of pissed about Kenny starting back with the Don Callis family. And I was talking to Dylan about this a little bit earlier, that, like, you really need to think about the fact that this is sensical, because the Don Callis family wouldn't have been a thing if Don Callis never turned on Kenny. The whole reason the Don Callis family exists is because of Kenny, or because of Kenny's the betrayal that was bestowed upon Kenny. So it makes a lot of fucking sense as to why this is happening. And it could honestly fall into a story of Kenny getting his revenge or his one-up on every single person that has backstabbed him, which could fall and lead back into the Elite, which is inevitably going to fall back into the Elite. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, Kenny's beating up Don Callis, and then Brian Cage comes out, and Kyle Fletcher comes out, and they're beating up Kenny, and I'm like, oh my god, who's gonna save Kenny? And like, I don't know, I was really just thinking Kota Ibushi was gonna fucking show up. And then the fucking Will Ospreay, da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever the fucking, how his theme music goes, hits, and I'm like, oh, Will Ospreay, and Kyle Fletcher, like, pooped himself and ran out of the fucking ring. Will Ospreay's coming up with the fucking chair, fending off everyone from Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's got his back to Will Ospreay as he's standing there, and Omega's getting up, and Ospreay kind of raises the chair a little bit, but then he quickly puts it back down, and they're just kind of staring at each other, and Will Ospreay says, I just saved your ass, bruv. Yeah, bruv, I just saved your fucking ass, bruv. And Kenny's like, all right, young kid, all right, we'll see about this. And I have a common enemy. That's very interesting. That's a very, very interesting thing. And I will really, honestly, just kind of explode into 10 million fucking lyssies if I get to see Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega tag team up against the Don Callis family, which is going to happen. And I cannot wait for that to happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any words about this?
Not really. It was cool. Yeah. moving on.
Where's the baby?
Sleeping. Moving on. My wrestler of the week.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that was fast. You don't have a flashback match?
No, not this week. Yeah, not this week. Plus, the state of AEW kind of stretched things out.
Yeah, I took a lot of this. Up on this.
This is when you take over.
Oh, yeah. Well, Dylan, it's come to that time in the podcast where you will declare the wrestler of the week.
Well,
Dylan, who is your wrestler of the week?
well, before Didi just hit his head off the bed frame.
He's such an idiot.
He's standing on the fucking table over here. Look at this. Anyway, so it was actually kind of funny. I didn't know who to put. And then I put this person down. And then I saw things pop up 2 days ago. Because I didn't even realize it. It was 30 years ago that this man debuted. Well, the character, I should say. Not the man. He did stuff prior. But the character. And that is Raven. Is my wrestler of the week.
Okay.
Quote to Raven, nevermore.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I have some weird feelings about Raven, but
Yes. Don't we all?
Okay. Tell me about your first introduction to Raven, because it definitely wasn't 30 years ago because you weren't alive then.
It was 30 years ago.
It was 30 years ago.
No. My introduction to Raven was for context, just learned about Nirvana at this point.
Oh, great.
For context. Going back to the lore of that third or fourth grade, I forget the lore of it now. Wow, it's been that long. I talked about it in past episodes. That third or fourth grade teacher I had that gave me the wrestling DVDs. I got the Rise and Fall of ECW. And there's a section where they talk about Raven, and Paul Heyman talks about Nirvana. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, Nirvana, Raven. And then there's a bonus disc with Raven matches, and then the Barely Legal disc. And I watched Raven, and I was like, this guy is cool as fuck. He's like a rocker guy. And then you learn what grunge is. And then you keep going, and then you just end up finding more stuff about him and everything. And then also around the time he was doing stuff in TNA with Abyss and Dr. Stevie and Daphne.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. So there was that going on. And then around that time, I was taken to a TNA show where I got to meet some of the wrestlers. Jeff Hardy was not in the best frame of mind. I forget, this was all such a blur to me, but also, I remember Raven. We didn't really meet Raven. I don't know if it was just him being in character, or if he was having a really bad day, but he was sitting on one of the production things, like the black crates, kind of like how Raven would be doing. And every time someone was walking past him, he'd be like, "Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away." I don't know if it was in character, but we didn't meet Raven.
My brother met Raven.
Did he?
Yeah, my brother has a signed picture of Raven. Probably from a TNA show. And it says to Vinny. It's signed from Raven.
Huh.
I also found out the one day, maybe it was the same show, I don't remember. But my dad's office is set up in my brother's room, my brother's old room, but there's still some stuff of my brother's in there. And there was a TNA poster from a show, I think it was Scranton. Maybe there was a TNA show. Because I was like, oh, was that from when we were down in Florida? Because if you're not aware, TNA used to run out of one of the Universal Studios.
Yeah.
And every time we went down to Florida, we went and saw a TNA show. So I was like, oh wow, that's weird. This one's from Scranton. So I don't remember what year it was, but my brother had one of those too. So I don't know if that was when he met Raven or what it was. But what are your favorite Raven matches?
I love the Tommy Dreamer stuff he's done. I also enjoy his stuff with Punk. I really enjoyed the wacky hardcore stuff he did in WWE as well, WWF with the hardcore division. And I also really enjoyed the Sandman feud that he had in ECW.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were able to meet Raven that day, I don't even know how old you would have been, but
9, 10.
what do you think you would have asked him? What do you think you would have said to him?
That you're really cool and you're a great wrestler. That's probably would have came out of my fucking mouth.
Do you think you would have said, "Do you know Nirvana?"
Maybe. Probably.
I like Nirvana.
Probably.
You remind me of that Nirvana guy.
Probably.
You remind me of Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Did you know Kurt Cobain? Were you friends?
Oh, God.
Were you in Nirvana?
Oh, God. I'm gonna Kurt Cobain myself.
I'm gonna Kurt Cobain myself.
I'm joking. I love you, Kurt Cobain.
Oh my God, I don't even know what else to ask you about Raven. Do you have a different opinion about Raven after dealing with a person who centered his personality around Raven?
No, because I'm able just to completely shut that out.
See, that's the part where now I feel like a little bit is tainted for me.
Like I'm able to shut that out.
I still like Raven. You know, I still love Raven and everything like that, but now that I've like met somebody and spent an extended period of time with this said person who like centered their entire personality around just being an IRL Raven all the time, it's ever so slightly tainted where like I just think about Raven and I'm like, oh man.
No, I'm able to shut that out because he's actually nothing like Raven because he's a shitty wrestler and Raven's a way better wrestler.
Well, yeah, I know, and this kid's a poser, but. Yeah. One of my favorite Raven things, I don't know who the fuck it was with. I don't think it was Tommy Dreamer. I don't remember who the fuck it was. You'll know exactly what it is when I talk about it. When it gets brought out that Raven's a rich kid.
Oh, that was just in WCW.
The WCW Raven rich kid story.
I showed you that. Who was he with? Canyon.
It was Canyon. How did I forget that it was fucking Canyon?
Yeah, the rich kid storyline.
Oh my God, that was so fucking funny. That was hilarious. I don't care if people think that that's bad booking or that
No, it was funny.
That was hilarious.
And they had Sandman debut as his neighbor.
Yes.
And his name was Jim.
That was so fucking funny, dude. Like, see, that's the good fucking comedy shit in wrestling that
like Raven's like, and like Raven, you gotta stop being depressed.
What was that one fucking store that they went into that like Canyon did not know how to pronounce? It was some designer store.
It was some wild designer store.
It was something where it was like, what's Prada?
Yeah.
And it was Prada or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was so fun.
And it's the Chris Canyon accent too, which is even funnier.
It was so fucking funny. I don't know. Tell me some stuff about Raven. I can't really think of many questions about him because, like,
dude, the Raven character is just very fucking interesting because it's like this, like, outcast, twisted individual speaking in riddles.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Raven promos. You can just type it in on YouTube. Raven squeaky desk promo. And he's cutting this promo at in a school classroom or whatever, and it's one of those like desks where the chairs are attached to the desk, and he like moves the desk and it squeaks at like the end of the promo. It's the funniest shit ever. I mean, yeah, like I think everyone in backyard wrestling has like tried to rip off Raven somehow, some way.
Yeah.
So, whatever. It's such a cool character. Like, have I ever showed you like Scotty the Body?
Maybe.
Like pre-Raven?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. What's your favorite era of Raven? Is it ECW era? Is it WWF when he had dreadlocks era? Is it TNA era? Or is it Kill era?
No, definitely not Kill era. It's gotta be ECW era. That's like when I think of Raven, that's what I think of.
That's fair.
I mean, I remember like Raven and TNA and whatnot and everything. And it like to me is like watching him from ECW, like all of it was just kind of like not the same. You know what I mean? Like, that was the Raven that, like...
I also like the idea of Raven's flock, Raven's nest.
Yeah.
Like, that was always cool. Going back to, like, one of my favorite matches, the dog collar match with Punk was really good.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and watch the Delvani Eclipse match, there's a couple of spots I took from there, specifically. Trying to think. Raven introduced me into, like, some bands, too, because, like, he'd be wearing the band shirts. Like, I didn't know who the fuck Dinosaur Jr. was. I didn't know who The Cult was.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really cool Raven shirt, fun fact, it's him in the BWO as South Park characters.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a cool fucking shirt. But yeah, I figured Raven was a cool... we didn't talk about Raven yet. Raven did it was very short-lived in WCW. It was the Deadpool. It was with Vampiro and the ICP, which is also very funny. Raven is also just very cool too. They had a meeting in WCW the one day of, like, Eric Bischoff literally was like, if whoever's not happy with anything going on right now in WCW can just leave. Like, if you want to leave, I'll like rip up your contract. No one did that. No one, like, got up and left except one man, and that was Raven. And then he went to he went to ECW for, like, a little bit. He went back to ECW for a little bit because of, like, the non-compete with WWF, and then he went to WWF. And then he was kind of doing a very interesting storyline towards the end there. He was doing, like, a storyline based off of the 7 Deadly Sins, but, like, it was on Sunday Night Heat, so it didn't really gain anything. So yeah, that's Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Quote the Raven.
Nevermore.
Nevermore. Yeehaw.
Well, I guess that takes us to the end here.
That's the end. The end is near.
So I guess we'll take us out with the outro. So, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
And listening. And however you want to explain it. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, share, subscribe, send it to your friends, your family, your neighbors. You can send it to Raven. I don't really care. Follow us on Instagram at Talkin Wrasslin Pod. That is TALKIN_WRASSLIN_POD. And if you want to follow me on any of my social medias, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the same handle, which is Lungtar, LUNG_TAR. You can find me on Blue Sky at Lungtar, LUNG_TAR. And I guess for the next couple days, you can find me on TikTok at Lungbucks. That is LUNG_BUCKS. Apparently TikTok's getting shut down on the 19th. We'll see if that actually happens.
I don't give a fuck.
If it does, you can't find me there much longer. But if it doesn't, well, you can continue to find me there. Dylan, where can people find you?
Find me on the Instagram at DillWeaves, DYL_line, WEAVES_line. And you can find me on X, that is Twitter, at Danny Vallo, DANI_line VALO_line. Thank God TikTok's probably getting banned. Who gives a fuck?
And you can find Bryce, who made a little special guest audio appearance here, at
Up my ass.
At Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. So make sure to go give...
No, fuck him. We're starting YouTube beef again. Fuck him. He was listening to, like, the last episode when I was like, yeah, we're gonna start YouTube beef. Fuck him. He just texted me at that time, was like, fuck you. And I was like, what? And he's like, I didn't know what he was talking about. And he's like, oh, I'm DCW better or whatever. Yeah, fuck Tapped. No, I love Tapped Out the Pro Wrestling.
So go find Bryce, go send him some love, tell him we sent you. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Goodbye!
Bye.